Good afternoon, everyone. How is everyone doing? It's been a long time since we did a Q&A. So first of all, can you hear me? And obviously, more importantly, can you hear Louise?
Can you hear me?
Can they hear you? We don't know yet. We shall soon find out. Good. How is everyone doing today? Yes, before we go any further, don't forget atb.yt/run. Louise and I are still training for the Cardiff Half Marathon. We've got, it was 4 weeks yesterday. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're still training. We did a bit of a run on the old treadmill yesterday because it was raining outside. And do you know what? Running on the treadmill is awful, isn't it?
Horrible.
We're on
it's
black.
not horrible. It's just, it just felt
long.
Yeah, it's just staring at the street and nothing else. And
because you were on there for an hour and a half, and I was on there an hour and a half as well.
I think I was there 2 hours. No, I gave up actually. I was an hour and a half. Yeah, yesterday. 2 weeks ago, we did a run, and it was great. Running because it was raining, and I love running in the rain. I just feel so refreshed and so alive because it wasn't cold. It was just raining. You complained.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I feel like I can breathe easier, and you just feel so exhilarated. Well, that's how I feel.
Plus,
and I had a really good run then, and yesterday was terrible. So if you could sponsor us, it would really cheer me up.
Plus, when you're running on the treadmill, you're just looking at nothing. You're just looking at the treadmill and the houses opposite, and it's just terrible. But yes, so we've got a target of £500. We're raising money for the Jewellers and Silversmiths charity. We've got a target of £500.
We'd love to smash that, though.
We would love to smash it. And don't forget, so if you want to sponsor us, go to atb.yt/run. We would love you to.
Sandra said that's like winter. I love winter running. Yes, yeah, definitely. It's just all that fresh air, isn't it? It's just...
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do any more
mean.
running after this. It just takes up too much time.
You go once a week, Andrew. I'm training 3 times a week. You go on a long run on a Sunday.
It just takes up far too much time. I'd rather do something else.
Linda, I'm so glad you're on. I tried to send you the chart, but it just bounced back at me. So can you please email me, louise@andrewbow.co.uk? You were on my radar today to say that. And then hopefully I'll be able to. I'm wondering if I've sent it to the wrong, but don't put your email address here, but email me please, and I'll, yeah. But yeah, it was really lovely to meet you too.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, thank you to everybody who popped by at the Walsh stand last week at Olympia. So lovely to see everybody. It was nice, wasn't it? It was a really good couple of days, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
We loved it. Really good. Tiring, standing round, chatting. People think it's an easy life. It's so tiring.
I chose the wrong shoes, didn't I?
You did.
I really,
You did. You swapped over at half time, but yeah, they look good, but not practical.
Stupid.
I wouldn't say they're stupid, just not practical.
It was
really.
stupid.
So we had a really good time to that. Thank you very much for that. And yes, the previous week was a bank holiday. So as usual, we don't get a chance to do any Q&As on a bank holiday because we're not in work. So I do apologise for that. But we're back today, back for a fresh Q&A. We do have to organise the next workshop in case anybody's asking, because we've been a little bit lapsed with that because of the bank holidays and the show, and we need to organise a few more supplies for the workshop, don't we?
Yes.
Brilliant. And Louise has been doing some really good pieces of jewellery as well. You've most probably seen that. Well, you may have seen that up on her Facebook page, so please go and join her on there. And this is the thing. Louise says, give me your honest opinion. So I do.
I don't get offended. I'm grateful for the opinion.
You are grateful.
What did you say to me earlier? I finished something on the weekend, and I polished it. I finished it today actually with the polishing and the cleaning, and I turned it around and I was like, oh, fire scale. Or fire stain, we should say, shouldn't we? And yes. I said, but it's on the back. And Andrew's like,
no one will notice. Right.
Wrong attitude.
No, but it is there. If it's behind a stone, you can't see through the stone, fair enough. But there, you can see it, so it shouldn't be there.
And you wouldn't know it was there if it was behind a stone, would you?
Exactly, so you can get away with that. Because
well, you wouldn't know it was...
Exactly, so you can get away with it. But if it's there, people can see it, you don't want to see it, just remove it. Simple as that.
Well, yeah, so I've got a bit more work to do there.
Good, but Louise has been coming along really well. She opened up her first parcel from the assay office as well, so that was good. We've done some photographs, we've done a few little videos, so we got to put that together in a little reel for that. The Birmingham assay office popped by on the stand as well last week, and they said thank you very much for everybody who applied for their sponsors mark as well, which was really good. And also the owner of Argentium came by as well. Jerry had a chat with us and he was really pleased with the workshop that we did. It was a really good workshop, and thank you to everybody who signed up for the free membership of the Argentium Guild as well. So thank you to everybody who did that.
It's all good stuff.
It's all good stuff. It's all positive stuff. So, anything else to report, Louise?
Lots, actually. I just can't think of it now. Just been busy.
It has. It's been non-stop. We had a nice relaxing weekend. Yeah, it's been good. It's been a good. Yeah, in Shedio yesterday when I was on my run. So all is good. Just looking at the chats there. So let's have some questions.
Okay.
So Louise has got a few pictures to show you a little bit later on.
Yes.
But please, obviously this is a Q&A. And we did have some really nice comments. I think I'd say nearly everyone who came onto the stand to see us said how much they loved these little hours, 4 o'clock on a Monday. And it's just there now, isn't it? We just put this out. We don't even think about it. We just rock up here, plug all this in, plug all Louise's equipment in, and we sit here and we just have a chat with you. And it's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get to see us, you get to hear what we're doing, and we get to answer some of your questions as well. So yeah, please pop some questions in the chat. Absolutely love you too. Should we have some questions, Lou?
Yeah, great. So Sandra says, one for anyone here, what's your favourite thickness, gauge or millimetre of sheet wire for making rings? I don't want them to be easily misshapen while wearing, in silver. So
I've written.
You've written Lou leaks. I think he means likes. 3 mil round.
No.
3 mil. Sorry, I'll start again. That's for laughing at you, isn't it? 3 mil wide and around 1.2 to 1.5 mil thick.
Because you were saying you picked up that ring and went, oh, this is my favourite size ring shank. This is. I think it's about 3 mil, 1.2, 1.5, isn't it? I'd say.
It's just nice and flat, and I can just get a bezel to
sit on
it nice and neatly, and it just, I don't know, it just works for me and the kind of things I'm doing at the moment.
Yeah.
What did I do yesterday? It was like a really wide, thick D-shaped wire.
Like
I don't even know.
6 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I struggle to shape that without using a shank bender.
Yes.
Which is not great for the Shedio because I haven't got a shank bender. But I persevered and I did mark the metal. But yeah, I do like the 3 mil. It's
nice.
It's just a nice, and it is sturdy.
Yes.
There's plenty of metal.
Yes.
So it feels chunky without being cumbersome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just a nice.
And that's what I was saying. It depends upon the width, because you could have something like 1.5 millimeter square. It's going to be too flexible. But if you have the width that's a bit wider than the 1.5, it's going to be a bit more substantial. And also, what I quite like, and I've mentioned this to you as well, is that if you have a ring shank, and this is looking towards the side of a ring shank, and say this is your 3 millimeters in width, yeah. I always like to taper that a fraction down the bottom like that, so it comes down.
Yeah. Because
sometimes if the ring is a little bit too wide, it gets really awkward on the back when you do this with your fingers. It just squashes, it just doesn't feel right. It's more work, but just tapering it down a little bit is nice.
Functionality.
And aesthetically it looks more nice as well, because the back of the shanks is it's narrower, then it gets nice and substantial towards the top where it needs it.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I taper the shank in a little bit towards a bezel.
Yes.
Because I just think it looks a little bit more finessed. Sometimes I don't, if I'm putting embellishments on the shoulders, but...
Exactly. So it all looks good.
Cool.
Excellent.
Okay.
Let's have another question.
Hope that answers that. Christine uses round wire. a 14 gauge 1.6 mil or 12 for a more substantial pieces.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Janet says, don't forget to factor in what style ring or rings, hands, size and shape, finger lengths and widths.
Yes.
We've got the chart, haven't we? That's available from the store.
What chart?
The reference ring.
Oh, the reference. Yeah, £2 for the sheet.
It's,
yes, workshop reference
you got one
guide.
Here?
No.
Because
Yes.
I use mine all the time.
It is the workshop reference guide. Do I have one up here? Nah, I don't.
It's super handy anyway. It's stuck above my bench along with my own polishing chart.
Not bragging or anything.
Not bragging or anything, though. Yeah, I use it all the time.
No,
What else is on there?
I thought I did. It's got all sorts on it, isn't it? I don't know. Yes, so it's up on the it's on the atthebench.store. Go and check that out. It's the workshop reference guide. Really handy. Yes.
Okay, let's have a look. Any more questions? Benjamin's saying, this Saturday I will learn Matrix Goal 3. Wish me luck.
Good. Very
Does that
good.
count?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Yes.
Good.
It's a like every type of CAD program. It's a long journey. You've got to keep using it to remember what you're doing with it.
Well, it's well worth the effort, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
I was thinking about it this morning because if we, like you, what do you use? Matrix?
No, 3 design.
Oh, 3, yeah, of course. Yeah. And if we want something designed in CAD quickly, we would normally outsource.
Yes.
Purely because you haven't got the time to do it.
Yeah, and it would take me so long to remember how to do what I used to do.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. I was just saying.
No, but it's true.
But it is true.
I haven't used it. When I go to use it, the laptop's dead, so I got to charge up the laptop. But it's something that you do have to keep using over and over again. You know, I can put together a very simple band and everything else, but everything else, it's in my head. I know how to construct, but it's knowing what icons to click on to extrude, to rotate and all that sort of thing.
So my point is, Ben, you'll be very busy if you can master it. So yeah, good luck. You'll do great. Good. Victoria's kids are going back to school tomorrow.
Hey.
No, they've gone back to school.
Hey,
Yay!
even better.
Of course. What's the date?
9th.
9th. Our kids are grown up, so we're out of the loop with it now, aren't we?
Yes. No pun intended.
Out of the loop. Oh, okay. Okay. Sandra's saying, read the new Agile Elite rolling mill. Does anyone know which free pattern plate comes with it? They say it's their most popular one. I want to buy one but not end up with a duplicate.
No, I think it's down to luck, to be honest, which one you get. I think they just say that because so they don't have to necessarily give you a particular one every single time. They've also got a bezel. Louise and I were talking about this the other day, and in fact Matthew messaged me and asked me, what do you think of the bezel roller? I haven't said anything yet. It comes with a bezel roller as well, to be able to roll out bezel wire. But we've been thinking, well, we were trying to explain how a bezel extension roller really does work. I'm not sure
Well, we'll have to have a play with
how it
won't we?
really works. I don't think there's any benefit of it personally.
Well,
I would just roll it down through the squares and then flatten it, and that would be a better way of doing it, personally. Anyway, we're digressing.
Good. Marianne says, I've heard that 3M radial bristles last longer than other brands, which deteriorate fairly quickly. Have you heard anything about this? I do love the 3M radial brushes.
I don't think, if you buy a well-known brand, you can buy cheap ones. You can buy some cheap sets off Amazon that are not branded, like Eve or 3M. And yeah, you take your chance with that type of thing. You don't know what they're made of. If you stick with a brand like 3M, or we sell the Eve radial discs, And providing you don't exceed the stated revolutions and put too much pressure on them, they will last you. Yes, they do wear, but they'll last you a lot longer than perhaps an unbranded type of radial disc will, won't they?
Absolutely. The Eve ones, I just absolutely love the Eve ones. I use them every opportunity. I've been using them today. They're just brilliant. And they're included in my tremendously excellent polishing chart.
Are they're the ones with the fronds, like
the
that,
Eve
going
twists
around?
and the...
No, the radial
Oh,
discs.
the radial discs.
With a little finger sticking out.
Oh no, I'll have to add them on.
But yeah, this is the thing. If you feel that it's not...
I think it's the same colours though, isn't it? Relate to...
Exactly the same colours, yeah. If you feel that you're not getting the required abrasion from the radial disc, you don't want to push harder, because that will not help you. It'll only wear away. It's like the same with any of the polishing discs, whatever brands you've got. So what you'd have to do is switch over then to a site that's something that's a little bit more coarse to be able to get that effect and so forth. But don't try put more pressure thinking it's going to help, because it isn't going to do it. There we go.
Just wears them down to nothing.
Just absolutely just wears them down. Yes, totally.
I think it's if they're like the polishing discs, it's a case of be good to them and they'll be good to you and last you.
Yeah, pressure, speed comes into it. Yeah. Good.
Good. Okay. P. Walker is saying, how can I make a ring from 100% brass material and then finish it with an antique silver colour? I saw a piece recently that had a nice antique silver colour, but it was described as 100% brass.
Okay. It's just purely going to be a patina that you put upon it. I don't work with brass, so I would not be able to tell you. Just bear with a sec. I may have it actually on. I'm sure I looked at it last time. Let me have a look at my bookshelf. A quick little scan of a bookshelf here. No, I don't. Okay, so what you're going to have to do is just Google patina on brass and have a look and to see. You've got to be careful, because if you use a silver solder on the brass, the silver solder will show. You can get a brass solder that should be pretty much invisible, but because if you're going to patina a piece, you may find the patina will react differently to the solder. So if you use a silver solder, you may find that the patina for the brass will not affect the silver solder, so you see the silver seam. And likewise, if you use a brass solder, it may not patina the same way as the patina on the rest of the ring. So you still may see a join. But as to how you patina brass, I don't know, I'm afraid. Just got to Google it, I'm afraid. But you should be able to do it. You should be able to do it, no problem. Yes, Lou.
Oh, is it me? Okay. Yes. Jane says, for ring shank, are you using 3mm half round or 3mm round?
Yeah, 3 by 1.5 dissection. Yeah, fine.
No, it was flat.
No, yours just flat, yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yes.
Miriam is saying, is there any way around using a small bit of glue when setting a crystal point vertically with a closed top, essentially an upside down bezel cup with a bail?
Sorry, say that again.
Is there any way around using a small bit of glue when setting a crystal point vertically with a closed top, essentially an upside down bezel cup with a bail?
You would have to use glue. I don't think there's any other way you're going to be able to do it. I presume you mean, say something like that, and then you put a cap over this end here, yeah? And the chain would run through. So the cap then would be glued on top of the crystal. You'd have to use glue. I don't think there's any other way. There are ways of doing it. If this crystal has a hole running through, when you put the cap on top, you could always then drill a hole through it and then put a pin through to hold it in place. But apart from that, I think glue is going to be the only way you're going to be able to do it, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Oh.
Yes.
Moving on from that, actually, this might be helpful.
Yes, yes.
Let me find the pictures first. So Anthony sent me some lovely photos. I hope you're here, Anthony. You are? No. was it Anthony? 1 second, sorry.
That's
Let me just
okay.
check my... No, it was David. Sorry, David. I hope you hear David. David sent me some lovely pictures. And do you remember, Andrew, a little while back, you made a film about casting a cap for an irregular stone?
Yes.
So, yeah, so David's daughter-in-law has given him her childhood collection of tumbled stones.
Okay.
I mean, he recently watched your video on making the cap for an irregular stone, so he thought he'd give it a go. So having watched the film, let me just get my photos up and then you can...
Okay.
Oh, where have they gone now? I did have them ready. Here they are, there. So the first one is threads in the mould. Let me just get the picture up and then you can...
That's okay.
Yeah, 1 sec.
Okay.
So that's that one.
May I show?
Andrew's project
May I show?
had, yes please, had him using a large stone, but David's first 2 stones were approximately 7 by 3 mil and for the first one and 4 by 4 for the second, tapering to a rounded end. The main problem was because the cross-sectional area of the Delft clay in the mouth of the cap was so small, the cohesive force in the Delft clay was less than the friction between the clay and the mould wall. So the clay would not pull out of the mould. Okay. Dusty with talc and everything, tried silicone lubricant, but nothing seemed to work. Then he used fire clay in the mould with a bent nail that would be surrounded by the clay in the cope. It worked, but as the fire clay is water-based, he had to dry it, which resulted in some shrinking. Ended up grinding the cap to make it fit.
Okay.
Then, 3 a.m, an inspiration, lay fine threads into the cap first and then fill the cap with casting sand. So the ends of the threads were then bent over and incorporated into the upper body of the casting sand. Now when I separate the mould, the threads pull the sand out of the cap and it worked a treat.
Very good.
So, this is the photograph of the threads in the mould.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if you could just come off that for one moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
The next picture is threads over the mould.
Sure.
Here we are. Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, come off.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then blank in clay with nail.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yep. I can't see personally because my monitor is too small, too far
Can
away.
Can you see mine
No,
here?
no, it's fine. No, you can.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And come off, please.
I have.
And here's the result. Look at that.
Very good. Can we zoom in?
You
it's
sure
gone.
can, yeah.
Why is it gone? Oh, no, it's gone. Is it gone? It's there.
How lush is that?
Very good. Nice.
Yeah, so that
Good
was
work.
that was yeah. So what brilliant tips as well, working around the obstacles that were presented to him as well.
Yeah.
Because your video is, perhaps you can link it in the comments or in the description to
Good
that
idea.
film. But also, if you could come off this for a moment. Are you off?
Yeah.
David's been very busy.
3 a.m. in the morning, yeah. Inspiration strikes.
That happens to me, but it's normally something I've forgotten to do in work. An email I forgot to answer or something like that, and I wake up thinking about it. Let me just, that's the, yes, okay. Go.
So that is...
So, if I can just get the email up. So this one is a pendant which David has made following your advice, Andrew, on both making the wire setting and the seating the stone in a groove in the claws. Overall, the pendant measures 55 by 10 mil, and the stone is a 3 mil citrine. How gorgeous is that?
Very nice.
I know, I love it. Yeah, fabulous.
Very good.
Yeah, nice one, David. Thank you so much for sending the pickies.
Thank you.
They're gorgeous.
And thank you for explaining how things were done as well.
Yeah.
Really good.
I know, I
Thank
love
you.
it. So clever.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, good.
Very good.
Let me just get
Do
my
like
questions.
a bit of show
back
and
up.
tell.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, okay, lovely. Where are we? Oh, David has a chart and often uses it. Yeah,
good.
Cool. Oh, that was the glue question that prompted that. Brilliant. Anthony says, in a lull right now for a number of reasons, need to get my jewellery mojo back again. What does everybody else do for inspiration?
It's really difficult, isn't it? Just Louise?
I tell you what I do. I look to history.
Yes.
I've got my big old book of Victorian jewellery, which I love looking through. I particularly love Byzantine jewellery, Etruscan jewellery, anything like that. And there was a big revival of that sort of look in the 1990s, which is an era which I just love. So it all ties in with that. And so that's what I look at because I know that I like that style.
Yeah. Be interesting.
So,
because
nothing is really new, is it?
No.
Well, there are new things, but most things are a variation.
When technology comes along.
Yeah.
Yes, there are new ways of doing old things, aren't there?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Most things are a variation of something else. But that's personally what I do.
I think I don't make up jewellery like I used to. I do make up commissions, but the designs are based upon what the customer's needs and wants are. But I think if you like a particular perhaps technique, is, as you say, look through magazines, look through books,
Pinterest.
Go online, Pinterest, anything like that, and see if there's anything of a particular technique that you like and that you could try and recreate. That would be a nice idea.
I go on Pinterest, and the minute you start looking for things that you like, it's like, say, me, it's Byzantine and Etruscan jewellery, and then start pinning things on a board, and then before you know it, Pinterest just suggests things that
very similar to what you're looking at,
which you're probably going to like as well, because that's how social media works. So that's a really good.
And as you say, look at a moment in history, a moment in time, and see if what is there that you like.
Yeah, and also current trends as well. I was thinking about this earlier because the new Beetlejuice film has come out, isn't it? And I love anything Tim Burton-esque as well. That's a big thing that I love. So I'm thinking perhaps I can make something, and I don't know what yet, but I'm going to start
seeing what's out there.
Imaging Beetlejuice and Beatles and Halloween-y type things. It's a bit late now to be.
You've got a month, 2 months.
Yeah, I suppose there is still time, but I like anything gothic anyway. So yeah, I was thinking about that just earlier. Perhaps, I don't know, black and white stripes, bugs. I don't know. Just
watch this space.
You can have lots of fun with that, though, can't you? So that's just things that are current, I guess, as well.
Yes,
are a good way to get some inspo.
But I must admit, we all. This is the thing. We all have really, at times, we are so busy, and I used to find that when I had to be busy within the shop and making things for clients, I found that as I was doing that, my brain was obviously active doing that, and I found that was the time when I had the ideas that I wanted to do. And the problem was I was so busy with the shop, I didn't have time to put into plan the ideas that I was having in my head. So it seemed like when you're busy, you are very busy and your brain is active and you've got so much to do. So write it all down, draw it all down. As Louise says, get like a Pinterest board and get all this information down. So when you have a little bit of a lull and perhaps you're a bit like this and you're a bit down, go through things, go through your sketchbooks, go through Pinterest, go through everything that way. Try a new technique. Think I can't think of making anything. Let's try a different technique. Let's try fold forming. Let's do granulation. Let's look up argentium. I'm in a bit of a lull, bit of a rut. Let's try a new material. Let's try a new technique, and perhaps work through there, and that may spark some interest, perhaps.
I think it definitely does, because we were talking about the magnetic polisher, weren't we? And I love the finish that's been giving on some of my pieces. And now I'm thinking of, like, I don't know, things based on the moon, because it's giving it like the metal is like a glow rather than a shine, isn't it? And I love it, like a warm glow, and it makes me think of lunar and stars.
And then from that, then you can look at producing planet things or lunar things or craters and all sorts of things based upon that sort of look.
Definitely.
Good idea. Yes.
Yeah, cool. Lynn says, can anyone suggest a good freehand design app for the iPad using an iPen?
Yes, you got things like Procreate, which is good. There's also something out there called Pencil. Now, I have not tried this yet. Pencil is a subscription-based drawing program, but it is like Counter-Sketch used to be many years ago, made by Gemvision, I think it was. And you literally bring in a shank, bring in a setting, bring in this, bring in the stone into the actual screen that you can do. It's Pencil. I've seen it. Just Google it, Pencil for the iPad. I'm not quite sure whether it's in the App Store. I don't know. But Procreate is one of the best ones. It is subscription. It's really good. But Pencil is better if you are specifically wanting to do jewellery and ring shanks and settings and stones and that sort of thing. So it's Pencil. So try that out. And if you do anything, just send these pictures to us because we would love to see what you can do. Yeah, I've got an iPad. I've got a pencil, iPencil, whatever you want to call them. But I still like a bit of pen and paper personally. But it's what we all get used to, isn't it, over time?
You just reminded me of something else I was going to say.
Yes.
To Anthony with the, like you said about your sketchbook. And my sketchbook's got quite a bit in it at the moment. But I know in a few weeks, well, we'll be drawing anything. But I've already forgotten the stuff I put in there last week. So you need to, and I wouldn't let I don't even know where my sketchbook is at the moment, actually, which is worrying me a bit because I don't like people looking at it. Not because I'm scared that they're going to, I don't know, I'm not precious about, I'd be really flattered if somebody liked my things and wanted to copy them. It's just I don't want anyone to see my drawings because they're really bad.
But then their drawings that...
Well, I understand them.
Exactly.
They make sense to me. So
Yes.
yeah, make sure everything you think of, everything you like, just do a little doodle of it, because then when you are having a little bit of a spell where you don't know what to make, you could be surprised how much you've thought of previously, and then things go off in different directions then.
Exactly.
Yeah, sorry to go back,
idea.
but
no,
yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Victoria says, I need to set a really large oblong stone, about 7 by 3 centimetres, making a pendant. And she wants it claw set to show maximum stone. Will this be strong enough for a large stone like that? It's nearly 1 centimetre thick.
Wow.
And I think I saw that you sent me a picky. Let's have a look.
So, yeah, okay, so claw set, that is going to be quite a large rectangular stone, isn't it? I think if you try, this is the thing, if you try and claw set it,
oh wow,
you've really got to look at...
Would you like to see it? Wait.
I know, I'm not, I'm just putting on multiple so I got all the cameras now up on my little screen so I can see everything now.
I've just got emails.
No, that's fine, I'm not showing anything just yet.
It's okay.
The problem is, it's something that's going to be so big, if you try and use wire, the wire is going to have to be quite thick. You can't have, say, 1 millimeter wire because the wire is going to be too flexible. So perhaps what you could do is to give strength to the whole structure, you could make up a framework.
I've got a picture.
Okay. Yeah, you could make up a framework that stone will sit on. We got a picture over here, yeah.
Yeah. Is that fluorite? What is it?
Wow, that's huge, isn't it?
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, but that weighs a ton. Not quite a ton. Not quite a ton.
Slight exaggeration.
So perhaps if you make a framework, perhaps square section wire, that stone will fit directly on top. You have now got strength with the framework. And then what you could do is then you can attach, perhaps solder on some claws onto this. You could have the claws then coming on the sides there, on towards the corners. Yeah, does that make sense? Then you don't have to then worry about thick. Well, this can be 1 mil, isn't it? Or 10 mil thick. Okay, so you could do that. You could even have those claws D-section as well, that then would give a lot more strength to the claws. The other way to do it would be to make up a bezel for the stone using rectangular section. So you'd have, obviously this is going to be slightly out of proportion, but you'd have a bezel that would be quite thin. Yep. Like that. So that would be the bezel. So the stone sits inside of it. Solder on a bit of a ledge, perhaps, or unless the stone goes all the way through, whichever way you want. And then what you can do then is remove part of the wall to reveal the claws. So say you could remove your most of the side that would come along like that. Yes, although that isn't there, that's not there, that's there. Yeah, does that make sense? Then you can remove, no, there, that's better. That then would give you claws that would, oh dear, like that. So there we go. Does that make sense? Yeah, is that drawing okay? There. And if you did that, that would reveal claws that are going to give the whole thing more strength. Because if it's 10 mil thick, the wires have to come up the side of the stone and over onto the stone. If they're too thin, they're going to bend. But if you can reduce that by perhaps doing that, or even have it the other way around, take away the corners but leave the sides that can come over onto the edge of the stone. But I would definitely have some sort of structure for the stone to sit on to give the whole thing strength, and just don't rely upon thin wires going around underneath it. So something like that I think would be a nice little idea, I think. What do you think, Lou? Yeah?
Yeah.
That makes sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
So something like that, definitely. Good. That's massive. Show us what it ends up like. That'd be interesting to see that. Yes, Louise.
Good. Thank you. Laura is saying, what carrot? Pardon? Oh.
I didn't say anything.
I thought you were trying to get my attention then.
No, I just looked at you quick, that was all.
Oh, okay.
Your beauty astounded me, astonished me, so I turned my head quickly to see you.
Don't overdo it. Laura's saying, what carrot gold books?
I looked at you again, I'm sorry. I can't. All I'm doing is going, I'm just looking like this.
You usually do that. Okay, what carrot gold works the most? I'm not going to look at you. What carrot gold works the most like silver? I'm trying to make the jump ring from. Sorry, I'm not reading it properly at all. What carrot gold works the most like silver? I'm trying to make the jump ring from working with silver to working with gold. Sorry, I've read it wrong again. I'm trying to make the jump from working with silver to working with. Oh, Laura, I'm so sorry. I'm going to start again. What carrot gold works the most like silver? I'm trying to make the jump from working with silver to working with gold, but it's so expensive, I can only get tiny bits. What carrot should I start with? Thank you.
This is the problem that you got. It is expensive. I would say to match the malleability and the ductility of silver, silver being quite soft, I would say something like 18 carat. Personally, that is going to be 18 carat's a bit softer to move because there's more gold in it. So I would say 18 carat is going to be pretty much the same when you work it. The problem is it's twice as expensive as 9 carat, and it's a lot more expensive than silver. So if you had a ring shank in silver and a ring shank in 18 carat, it could be, the ring shank's going to cost you £1.50, £2 maximum. The 18 carat is going to cost you £60, £70, something like that perhaps. That is the jump that you're going to have to make. And the problem is, it is so damn expensive. The other way that you could do it is simply, and it's what Louise has been doing, is using the gold to add embellishments to a piece as well. So perhaps you could have a nice thin gold bezel on a cabochon ring. It's got gold, it reduces the cost because it's not an awful lot, but you can combine it with your silver. Bearing in mind, if you are in the UK and you add gold to a silver piece, it has to be hallmarked. You have to send it off to the assay office to have it hallmarked, and they would hallmark it. What have you had yours done, Lou? It comes up as 925 plus gold? Plus,
I'm not sure on the...
Because on the copper it says copper and lead.
It's stamped as mixed metals, 925, and you've got the option, it'll say copper.
Yeah. But yeah, this is something that you're going to have to bear in mind. Louise has been making some fabulous little earrings. I mean, do you know, a little gold ball on that earring would look stunning. But I'm thinking, hang on, it's got a gold ball. And as it's over 1 gram, even though it's on silver, it has to be hallmarked, which raises the prices again, doesn't it?
But then if you're sending a batch off, you might...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You might as well just send them in.
Yes. So, yeah, it's an awkward one. It is a heck of a jump monetary-wise. I would not say it's a heck of a jump if it was 9 carat. They work pretty much the same, but the 9 carat, because there's more alloy in it than gold, it's a little bit harder to burnish over. But use it in a thin form, bezels, that sort of thing. It's a lot softer. Yes, Lou.
Is it... I don't know whether I'm saying the wrong thing here, but if you buy scrap gold like at auction,
yeah,
and melt it down,
yeah,
like ring shanks are generally, provided they haven't been resized,
yeah,
previously in their lives, then
yeah, and they're hallmarked,
to say
what they are, cut out any solder joints.
375 and there's no solder, if you heat it up and check that there's no solder joint, so you know there's no solder in that portion,
yeah,
you could potentially melt that down and...
Yeah, or even if there is a solder joint, you just simply cut through it.
But then obviously you've got to check then that that's still cheaper than buying the new metal, which it probably would be.
If you've got the facility to melt it down.
Yeah, if you can melt it down and roll it out, it's going to be cheaper.
Yes.
Provided you can ensure the purity.
Yes.
And there was another proviso as well then, and I can't remember what it was.
Hallmarked.
Buyer's fee, don't forget, that's going to be up to like 30% at auction.
Yeah. On top of what you paid.
On top of the hammer price, yeah. But sometimes you can buy jewellery for like below scrap.
Well below scrap,
price.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've not done it myself. It's just something. It's a way to get gold very affordably.
Or go to a local jewellers who buys in scrap and buy it from them.
Yeah.
As well. That would be an ideal way of doing that.
That's an easier way, yeah, because you probably pay full scrap, but yeah. Which
is going to be far less than the actual new bullion price as well.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy up.
That'd be a good one. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because, obviously we're keen to encourage anybody who's into making jewellery and
recycling as well.
Recycling, helping people out is what it's all about, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Benjamin, what do you think about the new synthetic diamonds? Will the diamond market be damaged?
I'll let you answer this one because you're the gemstone girl.
It's difficult, isn't it? Lots of people have got lots of opinions.
It has made an impact on naturals.
I think price of natural diamonds came down, didn't it?
Yes.
Earlier in the year.
Yeah.
The biggest problem, I think, the biggest challenge and the biggest threat to the diamond market is obviously the disclosure. And the danger of synthetics trickling into the natural diamond market.
Yes.
So it's for all of us, every single person in the industry and the supply chain, to be doing their due diligence, really, isn't it?
Yes.
And checking and screening and making sure we're up to date with our training. Yeah. The Rappaport report is a good thing. Martin Rappaport, you can follow him on Facebook.
Rappaport.
I took some training with the Gem Academy earlier in the year, and it was all about identifying synthetic / laboratory grown diamonds versus natural diamonds.
Yes.
And that was absolutely amazing, worth every penny. So I've invested in a synthetic diamond screener, which is really, really useful. It saved us last week, didn't it? Because I think it was a ring, and the lady wanted to sell the stones, and they were only about like 15 points each, 20 points, weren't they?
Yeah.
And one out of the three flagged up as potentially synthetic.
Yep.
So
it could have been obviously a natural that had, you know the terms, treatments perhaps, or it could have been a natural that just exhibited different reactions to the shortwave and longwave light.
Yeah, exactly. But then it's a starting point to make sure that you don't get caught. And the other thing to bear in mind as well is the resale value of synthetic diamonds is nothing, is it? It's
nothing, no.
Yeah, they're not worth anything by the time they come back into the secondary market. Certainly, yeah, people don't pay anything for them.
No,
which
exactly.
is a huge thing to consider,
a huge
isn't it?
con,
really?
not con, again, not
It's
con,
not a con.
not a con, pros and cons.
Yes, I see what you
advantages,
mean,
disadvantages.
Yeah.
I mean,
This is
yes.
the thing. We could do like a whole hour just talking about synthetics, and
Yes.
a lot of people are very, very anti synthetic diamonds. I think because
there's a market
people
for
need
it
to know
all.
what they're buying, don't they? That's the
Yes.
thing. People need help because people say to me, somebody wanted what was it? I think they wanted a 1 carat natural emerald cut stone engagement ring. What shall I have? Shall I have a natural? Shall I have a lab grown? And I said, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to just give you the facts, and it's got to be for you to decide.
Yes, not for us to tell people
So-
what they want.
No, exactly. So in the end, they went for a 2 carat synthetic, which looked beautiful, and everybody was happy.
Yes.
So that's the thing, is I've got synthetic diamond studs, and I wear them all the time. And I wouldn't have had them if they hadn't have been so affordable. If they were natural, I wouldn't have had them because the cost would have been
And you wouldn't necessarily wear them
in
every
the
day
same.
then, would you?
No, I
Same
wouldn't
way.
wear them every day. No,
No.
exactly. I'd probably wear them special occasions. Yeah.
And the problem is as some of the reports say, is that some of the parcels coming through now from the cutters actually do have labs in them, in with the naturals.
Yeah.
So I think it's very important also to know where your diamonds are coming from, to know that they have been screened. We buy our diamonds from Hennig, and there's there's a statement upon their invoices to say that all their diamonds have been screened, which I think is really important, because if there's little diamonds coming in now in parcels that are mixed and the companies do not screen them, you could be getting a lab when it is actually a natural. So you should be when it should have been natural, which means it's bad then, because you're selling what you think is a natural stone, but it's an actual lab stone. And then it's later on down the line, because if someone comes into us, we buy in pre-owned. If we buy in any diamond jewellery now, we screen it. Because if we buy in, or if anybody buys in what they think is a natural that is actually a lab, unbeknown to them, and then they sell it as a natural, even though it's a lab, further down the line, if that gets tested, who knows what's going to happen.
That is what would keep me up at night as well. It's not losing the money on buying something in that I thought was natural and it turned out to be synthetic. It would be then selling that to somebody, to a member of the public.
Yeah, as natural when it's lab.
I mean, just, yeah. So without the training and without the screening and without that knowledge, I think I'd just knock the resale and the vintage on the head. I couldn't do it.
You've got to have the equipment, because that, going back to that couple who we sold the emerald cuts to, so they wanted a 1 carat emerald cut. And how much was that? 7?
I think it retailed at about
£7,500 for a 1 carat. But they decided to go for a 2 carat lab laboratory grown diamond. And how much was that? £2,500.
It was beautiful.
Oh, amazing. So they've got a stone that is twice the size, there's twice the weight, not twice the size.
Yeah, it's whiter,
for
it's cleaner.
Less than half of what a natural stone would have been. They were happy. We told them exactly what they needed to hear. The fact that it is laboratory grown. It is the same as a mined diamond, chemically, but it's not exactly
similar,
the same.
It's not exactly.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, you have to be careful
because
what you
now
say.
there is equipment out there that we have that can actually distinguish between laboratory grown and natural grown. So they are not necessarily identical because we can screen them, we can see the difference nowadays. And you explain the fact that resale values on natural diamonds, you're going to get some money back, a lot of your money back, but you resell a synthetic diamond, a laboratory grown diamond, you'll hardly get anything back at all. And that is the problem that you've got, but you have to tell your customer that.
I think it's customer perception as well, because if you speak to, I don't know, my daughter, and you shouldn't generalise, but you speak to people in general, and a lot of times they say it's a better choice for the environment, it's greener, it's not ripping the earth up, and it's not always that simple, is it?
No.
So it's not always greener, it's not always better for the environment. It's a very complex thing, isn't it? And I think it's, for me, the struggle is getting that into, without waffling on, and we do waffle, don't we? Is just giving people enough information for them to make an informed choice without confusing them, without bamboozling them.
Yes.
Yeah, when it is such a complex
it is.
issue.
Yes.
So I think you just have to get to the root of it, find out what's important to them.
Yes.
If they say I want something green and ethical, well then great, you can go down that road and have either, can't you?
Yes.
So
because there are good things that come from mined diamonds.
Yeah, exactly. So without going into all of that, find out what's important to them.
Yeah.
And work with that.
Exactly. Yeah. But it is strange because the way I handle laboratory grown diamonds is completely different to natural diamonds. Even though they're the same and they're diamonds, I still feel that for me, I can handle laboratory grown diamonds easier, not carelessly, but not as careful as a mined diamond, knowing the values.
It's the value, isn't it?
It is the value that is there, yes. Interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, we could talk about it. So in short, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to the diamond market. I think it'll stabilise. I think my laboratory diamonds started up here. They came down. They're still dropping, aren't they?
They've come to sort of like a bit of a plateau, and I think it will continue to drop at a slower rate now. Mine diamonds have come down a little bit, but I think there will always be a market for both. People who want a piece of diamond jewellery but can only spend £1,000 for argument's sake, whereas they wouldn't buy a natural diamond, they will buy a laboratory grown diamond. Yeah,
exactly. Well, it comes down to what they want and what they want it for and what's important to them. If you're saying to me, it's cost.
Yes.
I want a stone that's hard, I want it to be sparkly, I want it to be hard wearing, I want it to last me my lifetime, and I don't want to pay much for it, well then you're going to want a laboratory grown stone, aren't you? And
that customer would never buy a mined diamond. They are not mined diamond customers, but they are laboratory.
We're really waffling. Sorry. We could talking about diamonds.
A long time. Give us a glass of wine and we'll talk even more, won't we? But there's so many things you got to look at. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry for going on. Okay. Janet Mindy, my little slow cooker died. Bought a bottle, quick to heat, but most of all plastic. But mostly all plastic. Can I use the safety pickle in the inner plastic beaker, or should I use a jam jar like you?
Yeah, I would never use the safety pickle without. That is my safety pickle in a jar, like a bain-marie. Is bain-marie?
A bain-marie.
Bain-marie, because the safety pickle is obviously corrosive, and it may not do any good to the element that is in here. So yes, always have the safety pickle in a container like this, and just have in here just the water. That is what I would have. I know it's got a metal lid, but the lid is lined, so it's not going to contaminate the pickle, or just use a plastic beaker in that as well. But always have the pickle in a container within your baby warmer. Yes, Janet.
Victoria says the stone has got a funny curve on the bottom. Haven't we all?
Nice. What?
So do you need to amend your answer?
No.
No. Okay, good.
No, because I haven't got a bottom.
Did you cut out the back? Did you?
Yes.
I don't have.
I didn't have a back to it. It was just held on the outside.
Okay,
yes. Thank you.
Sandra says I've been buying ugly gold jewellery at auctions to melt down for embellishments. Oh, cool.
Yes.
How's that working out?
Let us know.
Yeah. Good. Ellen is saying another way to jump from silver to gold is to take on orders where you ask for a payment up front that covers the material and some. That way it doesn't cost you to get started.
Yeah, so we usually ask for a third up front because that then will cover our material costs. So should anything happen, that's a non-refundable deposit. So if anything happens, we've got that covered. We've still got that third. And the money's come in, and as Ellen, was it? Yes, Ellen says then, yes, you can use that money then to buy the materials so you're not out of pocket. So I think that is a good way of looking at it. Definitely, yes.
Okay.
Far away.
Christian is saying, hi Andrew, been watching you for years and learned how to make great jewellery in my home studio. Oh, cool. I'm going to start selling my work soon. Do you engrave initials in a ring?
In the sense
of...
Oh,
how do you engrave initials in a ring?
You would have to learn how to engrave. But you'd also, first of all, have to learn how to write as well. You have to learn, so if you want to learn about diamonds, Martin Rappaport, okay? He's the guy, he's really entertaining.
Can I just say as well, also, Julia Griffiths, the Gem Academy.
Yeah,
the Gem Academy, yeah.
Yes.
And also Dimitri, Gemology Obsession, he talks a lot about synthetic diamonds. But yeah, Julia, the Gem Academy, just somebody asked me, Anthony said about running courses.
At the moment,
no, that won't be happening, I'm afraid. But Kerry Gregory, Gemology Rocks, and Julia Griffiths, the Gem Academy, they are your girls for all of your diamond training requirements.
Yes, absolutely.
Unless you want to do a formal course, in which case it's GIA, GMA.
Yes.
And I'm not saying their courses aren't formal, but they are...
you gain your points to get qualification from.
Well, you get a certificate with, I got a certificate on the course with Julia, but they are more practical courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. And better for people, well, not better, I shouldn't say what's better, but they are practical courses.
Yes. Okay, right. Okay. What was my question?
I can't remember, sorry.
Go on. Give us an idea. What was my question? I can't remember now. Engraving, yes.
Go on then, sorry.
You have to, so before you can start to engrave a letter, you have to know how to do, grown-up writing, I'll say. So
Did you get your pen license yet, Andrew?
My fountain pen. So you have to know how to be able to, how to draw with little serifs and things like this. So, and then like the ends would come in. You have to be able to draw like that to be able then to go over to engrave. And also you've got to have like layout lines coming across, so all your A's would be within this. So yeah, you have to be able to draw like that or write like that first to be able to come along then with a graver to then engrave. And then you obviously have to know then which areas are going to be thinner and which areas then are going to be thicker, and so forth. Yeah, does that make sense? So you have to be able to learn how to do big boys writing like that. Yeah.
Big boys writing.
Big boys writing.
Calligraphy.
That's the word, calligraphy. Thank you. Big boys
My
writing.
dad does a lot of calligraphy. Well, not so much. He used to do a lot of calligraphy.
I did calligraphy when I was young. I used to do that.
My dad was really good.
Of course, your dad was better than me, yeah. Give us another question, go on.
David says, I tried to buy scrap 22 carat jewellery, then national pawn shops won't sell. A local jeweller wanted to sell me scrap at £69 a gram. Casting gold from Cuxton's was £49 per gram. £49 per gram for 22 carat?
No.
That's cheap. That must be for, is that for, what carat was that for? Because 22 carat.
Scrap is 55.
But yeah, perhaps it was a while ago.
Mm.
But yeah, obviously, yeah, absolutely. I think the point is do your research. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, David.
Yes.
Good. Donald says, would you be able to sort out some 1 to 2 mil diamonds which have got mixed up with some crystal stones?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to look with your 10 times loop, I guess, isn't
Yeah,
it? And,
look at it with your loop. First of all. Yeah, you should be able to do that. Yeah, definitely.
Good.
Is he asking you to do it, or is he?
Would you be able to? Would I be able to? Yeah, I think I could do it. Yeah. Sandra Balstrin, it's working out well. I check the daily scrap value on auction day and leave myself a private max bid note on each item. I will only buy if I can get it below scrap.
Yeah.
Oh, it's really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
And then obviously I'm not quite sure what the markups are in Canada, but you say if you have to work out, you have to add on 30% onto the value of the price that it closes at, you then have to take that into consideration on your maximum bid. Yeah, definitely, yes.
Okay, oh, it was 3 years ago. Oh, that explains it then, yeah. Should have bought it all up 3 years ago. It's worth more now.
Absolutely.
Just kept it.
Yes.
Good.
One quick thing, 3D printers.
Any advice on using 3D printers to help with my home jewellery workshop?
Let me just have a very quick. Mars is a good one. Very quickly, let me just have a look on here. Mars 3D printers. Very quickly. Elegoo. Elegoo. E-L-E-G-O-O. So they are a really, really good printers. There's the Mars, Saturn, obviously you see where I'm going with this, Jupiter. Okay, so Elegoo is the brand and they do these. They're very, very good. You can pick up a 3D printer for about, I don't know, £200, £150, £200. But obviously the output is only as good as your inputs. So you have to make sure that the ST files are of the highest resolution. Some people don't realize the fact that you can do ST files in different resolutions. Some people put them out there as a medium resolution and then wonder why their 3D prints or the castings have little lines on them. Visible lines they then have to get rid of. But if you can export STL files at the highest resolution, that means that when they're printed and when they're cast, they will have slight lines, but not very noticeable. So these printers are really good. Obviously, if you send your 3D files, your STL files to a big casting company, they've got equipment that may cost £6,000, £12,000, £15,000 that are going to be able to produce better. But these little machines here are ideal for the small workshop. Yes, Lou?
That's it.
That's it. Should we go?
I think so, yeah.
Good.
Okay.
So that would be my thing. So it's Elegoo, uk.elegoo.com if you're interested. But they have very, very good printers. And on that note, we shall go.
Good. Okay.
So everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. Yes, we could talk a long time. Perhaps we should think about doing perhaps a little podcast on lab diamonds and get somebody in on and give us their views on it.
But yeah, I think I'd like somebody
With a bit
better
more
informed.
Yes, and
Because
the only way
we do our due diligence, we do our studying,
Yes.
we do more than the minimum that we need to do
Yes.
to do what we do.
Yes.
But there are guys who just specialise in this and just live and breathe it. And yeah, it'd be great if we could get somebody like that, wouldn't it?
Yes, to talk about labs, especially
Yeah.
on a podcast.
Okay.
We have the facilities to do that. So yeah, perhaps we should look into that, and that'd be really, really good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good.
Good.
Okay, everyone. Yes.
Is there any decent rolling mills available beside Durston/Pepe? I need one ASAP, but money is tight.
This is the thing. You've hit the nail on the head. If money's tight, you just have to be able to buy a rolling mill that you can afford. The little blue ones that you can buy from Cookson's, mixed results with them. Durston have just produced a hobby rolling mill. Haven't tried one yet, but obviously if money is an option, don't get the cheap imports that you can buy from Cookson or anywhere like that. These blue ones with interchangeable rollers, no need. Still buy a good brand, but perhaps buy a bit more of a budget from that good brand, and you can be sure then that brand is still going to have the same quality. So yeah, you could buy a simple little rolling mill, a hobby rolling mill from Durston, and that would be fine. Good.
Good. Yes, Linda, that's my email address behind Andrew's head there. It's louise at andrewberry.co.uk.
And we should get that out to you. So
yeah,
apologies.
I tried to send it.
You did?
What day was I back? Tuesday, and it just came back.
Wednesday.
Saying, I don't know what it said. You're not allowed, basically.
Yes.
I don't know why.
Please do contact Louise, and we'll get that straight back out to you.
Good.
Good. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. It's a busy week for us. It's a busy week. Our diploma started on today, actually, and that's going really well. Officially started today, so that's really good. If you are interested in our diploma starting in September next year, please do go to atthebenchacademy.com and register interest. That's on the top right-hand corner of that page, and we would love to help you on your jewellery journey. Because you've done really well, haven't you, with your films? You love it. You're absolutely, you're absolutely not obsessed, but at every waking moment you are down the schedule yesterday, you were in today, you're in like 7:30 on a Friday, getting a couple of hours in before the shop opens, and you're learning new techniques, you're practicing, you have disasters, you bounce back.
I wasn't supposed to do this. I didn't expect all this to happen.
No.
But, I mean, it's you guys as well, though, because we come here every week and everybody's got such good ideas and everybody's so enthusiastic and so supportive. And that makes a big difference to us as well, doesn't it?
It really does, yes. It's nice.
You guys inspire us.
Yeah, it really is. It is a good little community on a Monday afternoon. And it's really lovely.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. And you guys appreciate it as well. You heard from the comments we had last week at the show. Brilliant.
I thought you were going to burst into tears then, Andrew.
No, I'm all right. I'm okay. Anything we need to know? Anything we need to sort out? Can't think.
Just what we're having for our tea.
All right. And on that note, it's going to be pasta here. On that note, we are going to love you and leave you. We will see you for a next Q&A on next Monday, but do keep an eye out on socials.
Is it workshop?
We have got to organise it. I'm not going to organise it in time for Monday.
Okay.
That's the problem. Because what I thought I was going to get on time, I can't get on time. So it's going to be a couple of weeks before the workshop comes through. So many apologies for that. And that will be all about impression dies and what are they called? Lou, what are they called?
Shop plates.
Shop plates and impression dies. Thank you. So we need to get a few more. We need to get a bit more of equipment to show you what we can do with that. But that will be in 2 weeks' time. Not next week, I'm afraid. Because we haven't been here.
I know.
Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week. Keep an eye out on socials, but keep an eye out. Follow Louise on Facebook and see what she's making.
It's not really on. I need to set up a page then, don't I, for my...
Yes.
Yeah.
A little website, perhaps?
No, I couldn't do that. The thing is, I don't make anything... Nothing's cohesive. I just make the things that I like to make.
And there's nothing wrong with
that.
that.
Like some people say, oh, I've got a collection, and I just... nearly everything I make has got balls on it, though.
That's okay. But that's
I don't know.
Balls is your signature style.
Well, do you know what's really, really funny is I've made things with balls either on the back plate or on the shoulders. And today I thought I'm not going to make anything with balls on it. I'm just going to sort of gold stone, didn't I? And I was like, I'm just going to put it on a plain shank. Looked at my metal, didn't have any left. But I did have some, what is it, like balled wire?
Yes.
So I ended up using that, and then I looked at it and I was like, I've done balls again. So perhaps it is a collection. I'm just going to call it
Balls.
Balls to you all. What do you think of that?
Moon balls. Moon shimmer balls? Moon?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know where we're going. All right.
Yeah,
so
it still gets a bit silly, doesn't it?
Everyone enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you all very shortly. Let me say goodbye.
Bye.
Everyone enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.